This is the Neoliberal Round podcast.
This case, and I don't want to hear about the Menendez brothers because they're trying to confuse us with dumb stuff. This case has nothing to do with domestic violence, but yet still, here we have the DOJ's and the prosecution's star witness. Okay, star witness is
This
coming
is the
to talk
Neoliberal
to
Round podcast.
us about domestic violence and rape. What does that have to do with
Yesterday,
sex trafficking?
something eerie happened.
I'm telling you, this is ridiculous.
I was working with my AI assistant, Yohan, the ever-faithfuful digital companion I rely on for everything from research to editing, when I noticed something strange, unnerving even. I hadn't copied any text, yet my words were being highlighted and duplicated without my instructions. After I typed a request, the screen turned stark white, as if buffering reality. Then, nearly half a minute later, the AI's results appeared, only to flash and highlight themselves as though someone else was remotely copying them. It felt like someone or something was watching, not reading. This is the Neoliberal Round
episode of the
podcast.
Neoliberal Round podcast. I have an article that was recently published in the Jamaica Gleaner that I want to share with you. It is entitled, if I could find it. I just actually was on it reading just now. It is entitled, when you type in poverty in Jamaica, it's right at the top. It's at the top. When you type in poverty in Jamaica, it's at the top.
What?
When you type poverty, when you go to Google and type in poverty in Jamaica,
What, Neoliberal?
no, the Jamaica Gleaner.
Oh, okay.
The first thing that comes up is poverty statistics.
So Neoliberal
Counting eggs before they are laid.
You didn't need to post
No, that's fine.
topics.
No, because they mentioned my book in the article, and that's my niche market.
I'm recording.
No, why? No, don't record me.
No, that's fine. Hi everyone, I'm Ronaldo McKenzie, the author of Religion, Globalization, Economic Equality, Poverty and Privilege.
Welcome to another episode of the Pulse. I'm Ricardo with Pulsing. Why you look so relaxed? Where are you? The shirt on, pull. Yo, you've been working out, huh? You look like you get buffer.
So you can talk. Hello, everyone.
Hi, welcome to the Weekend Pulse. We are recording. Can we eat on the Pulse?
I don't know. I guess anything goes. Is that the type of podcast we have, where anything goes?
No.
Oh, it's a professional commentary about what's going on in our society.
Not the part. No. Did you see Rogain's podcast?
I did. You're right. It's just like
First of all, this is podcast. It's independent media. It's not the bright lights of the CNN. We get to do anything what we want, and that's the beauty of podcasts.
yeah, that's true.
Okay, and we are an independent podcast, non-aligned. Our trademark is the Neoliberal.
Yes, we are.
We trademark our own podcast, so we not obviously or anybody. But Ricardo, what have you been up to though? There's so much has happened since the last podcast, since the last Pulse.
A lot. We've been missing each other. This is
She understood more of the business side, and that coaching helped me. And so when I was told to jump, it's not just to lead the 9 to 5, you know, it was also to start the doctorate.
Wow. Okay.
So that don't make any sense.
Yes.
How can I not be working? I don't have any money in the bank. I don't have cash stacked up, and you must think I'm delusional, right? You're not hearing from God.
Wow, I'm quite
No,
sure.
it never made sense.
Yeah.
It never made sense. And so I said, Lord, well, this don't make sense, but I'm gonna step out. I had 4 books by this time, so this was 2018, July 4, I sent in my resignation. America's independence was my independence.
Welcome to Caribbean Thought. I'm your professor, Ronaldo McKenzie. We will not have a full class this week. However, we are still in the embryonic stages of the class, which involves laying the foundation and setting the stage. For those of us who were at class last week, you would have begun to understand and to ferment in your minds ideas about this course. One of the things that we want to highlight in this course, Caribbean thought is not Caribbean family life. It's not Caribbean theology. It's not Caribbean philosophy. However, it is a course that involves the exploration of Caribbean history, Caribbean theology, Caribbean philosophy, and life, critically using Afrocentric and subaltern paradigms. Subaltern, or history from below. Subaltern or paradigm. So Afrocentric paradigms, or history from below. When we talk about, in other words, we are looking at history. We're providing a perspective on history, a perspective on life, a perspective on theology, one that is uniquely Caribbean, but that is rooted in a paradigm that still embraces academia. It has to be epistemological, but epistemology, what is Caribbean epistemology? How do we arrive at truth? But Caribbean is part of the Western world. The Caribbean, we say, is an invention, or is supposed to be an invention, stemming from Christopher Columbus. So we say the Caribbean is an invention. What will it be in the 21st century? But many can push back against that. But we have to first understand and to look at the perspectives. What perspective? What is our approach to Caribbean?